and we'll need to add a new reference in here, public text, restart text, and we'll just want to add that line again, so restart text enabled equals true. Obviously this line we can just copy every single time because every single result is going to end in the player restarting. Cool, there we go. Okay. Play. We'll just test. Let's just focus the camera back on here, just so we can see it happening. So, click the paper, player wins, object reference not set. Here we are, classic error. I'm glad this has come up. So, what it's saying is object reference not set to an instance of an object on the game controller, and it's happening in update on line 58. So now we can go to the game controller script, we can go to the update function, here it is, and we can look for line 58, here we are. Aha, so the restart text is not has not been referenced. So obviously we've put it in the code, but we need to go and put it in Unity. So we'll go back to the main camera, here is the game controller script, and there we are, look, none. So we'll just drag that into there. Perfect. Press play. Yeah, so if you ever get object reference not set, it's one of these is empty. So click this. Perfect, there we are. Space, press space to restart. Play. Okay, so let's add the restart function, and then we'll change this image to the right image. So, what we're going to want is let's get a let's have a bool. Let's make it private. We don't need anybody else to use this bool, so we'll keep it private. So bool can restart, we'll call it. So a bool is a true or false. So we can tell it to be true or false, and by default we'll make it false. So you cannot restart. The false, the negative of can restart is cannot restart. So we don't want people to be able to restart straight away. We only want to give them that when the game is over. And then what we can do is have a new, we'll put it at the top, just make it easier. We can have an if statement here, if can restart is equal to true, then we will let them, so if can restart is equals true and the player presses the space bar, that's what we want to do. So if they can restart and input dot get key down, so when a key is pressed down, the key code of this, so we can type in key code dot space. There we go. So if can restart is true, as in we've told the game that the player can restart, and the player's key is pressed down, specifically the space key, then we can restart the level here. So restart. Cool. Right, so all we need to do is when the player has selected and the result is shown, so we're going to show that they've drawn, we'll show the restart text, and we'll set can restart equals true. Obviously we're going to want this line in all of these again. Hopefully in your head you're thinking, it's probably a better way than having these 3 lines of code over and over again. And you would be entirely correct. What we would actually want to do is have a separate thing that makes this happen. So I'll leave that there. If you want to try and figure that out, feel free. Cool, so restart the level. So to restart the level, we need to use the scene manager. So we've talked about obviously the scenes in Unity. I have my scene folder. These are scenes. This is a scene. And to be able to control those, we need a new using statement, just like we did with the UI. Using scene management, save. Okay, so scene management gives us access to everything to do with controlling scenes. So we can then come down into the if can restart and the spacebar has been pressed. We can do scene manager. If I can get that in, scene manager dot load scene. And once you open the brackets, you'll get this tooltip that lets you see. So this one has 4 options, 1 of 4 here. So the first one is asking for the index of the scene. So what number scene is this? The next one is asking for the name of the scene. And there's some more complex versions that we don't need to worry about. What I would suggest for good practice is using the using scene manager again and get active scene. So this gets the currently active scene, which is obviously our one we have loaded. Let's say we wanted to maybe go to a different scene, like maybe a main menu, maybe a easier level, whatever it might be. We might just type the name of the scene into here. That would be a lot easier. But in this case, we're just going to load the same scene over and over and over again. So get active scene dot name. Cool. So scene manager is going to load a new scene. Specifically, it's going to get the active scene, and the name obviously is the name of this active scene. So instead of typing it in, we're just using code to fetch it for us. That way we can't make any mistakes, the computer can't make any mistakes, etc, etc. So let's go test that out. Little compile, press play. Okay, so let's select this one, press spacebar. Draw, press spacebar. And CPU, press spacebar. Sweet. So doesn't look like much, but it is resetting. When I press space, you can see the green goes away and the text goes away. So we have a resetting level. Perfecto. Okay, so we should probably make the image here reveal as like a haha, this is what we selected. I'm thinking, best way to do that might be to essentially copy what is here, these 3 things, and just copy it up to here. Because the problem we're going to have, if I select the opponent's choice, which is this image, and let's change it to the rock sprite. The rock sprite is massive. If I change it to the scissor sprite is much smaller. The paper sprite is a medium size. They're all different sizes, and we would have to tell it specifically what size it is. And I'm not thinking that's a good idea. I'm thinking what we do instead is swap this to a different component, to a different object. We could do that. In fact, let's do that. Yeah, I like that. It's a good idea.